to the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 60. Apologies for the delay. We had a few dramas with internet connection and we had all sorts of bullshit go on. It's been crazy. Welcome back to the podcast, episode number 60. I'm joined by ProEnzo Vidz in the middle. First things first, Lorenzo, how are you, mate?
Going well, bro. Obviously, big 60 tonight, so looking forward to the show ahead. And shame there's no CHAMPA yet, but I'd like to say hello to the special guest and HAYNESY.
Well, mate, thanks, Lorenzo. And, well, I'm joined by Rugby League YouTuber HAYNESY. If you guys don't know who HAYNESY is, make sure you go check out his channel. The link to his channel is in the description below. Subscribe to him. I guarantee you one thing about his channel, you won't be disappointed. He's a big Rooster supporter, and he's a very good friend of the channel. HAYNESY, welcome to the channel for the first time. And first things first, mate, how are you?
G'day, Nick. G'day, everyone. Thanks for having me on. Great to be here. I'm a bit nervous, actually. We've got the debut of the podcast. Got to deliver under pressure, I guess. So, great to be here, and can't wait to rip into it.
Mate, you'll be just like the Roosters. They handle pressure better than just about anybody. So you should be right. You should be good to go. But before we get into everything, I want to get into the live chat. We've got about 25 people in the live chat as we speak, so it's good to see a great crowd building up for the podcast. Hello to Jason Reader, another Rooster supporter in the chat. Hello to Cody Games PlayStation, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Warriors and NRL Fanatics is there, CJ Moxley, Faraz and Julian. You two need to stop arguing in the live chat, for fuck's sake. We don't need no toxic vibes in the chat. Both of you can pull your heads in. National Sports Loaded, how you going, my friend? Who else we got here? The chat's going nuts at the moment. All I can see is just arguments in the chat. Stop arguing, you fucking fellas. Jesus Christ. I'll start benefiting people for 5 minutes. I can't even go all the way up to the other. Oh, Daniel Bate all the way from the UK is here. Hello, Daniel. Hope you're well, my friend. I can't even go all the way up because I'll be here all night. But I hope you guys are all doing well on this Wednesday night, August 10th. 2022. All right, boys, we have a little bit to talk about tonight on the podcast. Obviously, no all-out CHAMPA. He's had a rough day. We're not going to get into it too much, but CHAMPA probably won't be here tonight, so I hope you're all right, CHAMPA. We're going to get straight into the podcast. We're just going to get straight into the topics, and we're going to start off with topic number 5. It's been the big talking point since Saturday night. Canberra Raiders coach Ricky Stewart has been fined and suspended for calling Panthers, backup half Jamin Salmon a weak, gutted dog. Something that I would say to Lorenzo off air just for a muck around joke.
Yeah,
this was a serious situation where it goes back about 10 years apparently, and Ricky Stewart's copped a 1-week suspension as an NRL coach, and I think it's $20,000 fine as well. I'm going to start with you first on this one, HAYNESY. Mate, what'd you make of Ricky Stewart's comments about Jamin Salmon the other night?
Oh, look, I think the first thing is just the time and the place of it. If this was behind closed doors, he come up privately and said, had a go at him, probably wouldn't have made mainstream media. But the fact that he did it in the press conference, in front of a live audience, it just, doesn't set a good example. Look, the comment, weak gutted dog, I haven't heard that before. I've heard weak dog, I've heard gutted dog, but weak gutted dog, so a bit weird on that one. Look, even though there's history and all that, I get that, but I guess the time and the place for it. I think the week suspension is fair to me. Ricky has a history of blowing up in press conferences, and I think fine after fine, isn't going to cut it. So a week suspension away from the club, probably was the right thing, in my opinion, in the end,
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Mate, what about the $20,000 fine? Was that a bit soft, you reckon? Or because personally, if I was in charge, I'd have gave Ricky 2 or 3 weeks. I would have said, nah, we can't accept that. We got to come down hard. $20,000 fines, pretty soft. I would have given him at least $50,000, but that's just me.
Yeah, look, I've seen worse fines before by NRL coaches for a blow up, but yeah, look, I think the week's enough. So whatever the fine gets. The fine. It's fine by me. I've seen worse, but I think the week suspension covers that. So I think a week and 20 grand. I think it's suitable enough. So I think he'll definitely have to take his time back. He would, but I think it's fair.
I think you make a good point about that. Like you've heard worse as well. Because I remember a couple of years ago, I think it might have been 2017. I remember Shane Flanagan went on a spray after the Cowboys elimination final game, and I think he got like a $20,000 spray. And I think when Trent Barrett was coaching at Manly, when they lost to Penrith because of the Tyrone Peachy knock on with the elbow, I think Trent Barrett went off his rocket as well and copped a big fine, like 20,000-30,000. So I think we've all heard worse, but I think what Ricky Stewart did the other night was much worse than what Shane Flanagan said in the past and what Trent Barrett said in the past. ProEnzo, Vidz, do you agree with this, or do you think Ricky Stewart got off a bit lightly?
It should have been more. I think you can't call players out just like that, especially when it can get spread out so publicly into many media outlets. And holding that in for 12 years now, since 2010. There's no need to say it. Like, what is the need to say it? If you want to sort of express how you actually feel that salmon and the situation that happened a long time ago, say it, sort of away from where it can be spread out public and everyone can, notice what happened. I don't think it's right what Ricky did. And I understand that Ricky would be defensive as a father of an autistic son, as that's what's happened in the past with Salmon. When he was younger, he used to bully him. But look, any 12 or 11-year-old, how old Salmon was back then, any kid would, do things like that, silly like that. It's part of being a kid, unfortunately. And, I'm sure Salmon's matured now. I'm sure he's moved on. And, if you're holding a grudge from 12 years ago, it's pretty stupid. So, look, what Ricky did was not good. And I think, I agree. A much harsher fine than what he got is needed.
Well, here's the thing as well. Ricky Stewart, he's been coaching for a long time. He coached the Roosters a while back. I think it was at Parramatta for a while there as well. He's coached a few sides. So he's coached Cronulla. It's very unlike Ricky Stewart to do this sort of thing, go off the way he did. But really disappointed with Ricky Stewart. And obviously Jamin Salmons, what he did, he kicked Tom Starling in the testicles. So whether that's deliberate or not, I guess everyone can have their own view on that, but you don't call someone a weak gut dog. It's like, for example, the other week when Rabbitohs played the Sharks, remember when Burgess got sent off? You don't see Craig Fitzgibbon going in the press conference going, oh, he's a weak gutted dog for doing that. Like, come on. You got kicked in the balls. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's an overreaction in my opinion.
Fucking oath it is. All right,
I've
let's move on from the whole thing. What's that?
I've definitely seen more worse kicked in the balls before. If you get kicked in the balls properly, you definitely feel it. You definitely felt it, but I've seen hit harder. So
mate, when I was in fucking year 7, year 8, I had someone peg a fucking handball at my testicles, and I'll tell you what, not fun. But Ricky Stewart, a bit out of line from him there. Let's go to topic number 4 now. When HAYNESY, mate, obviously one of your players at the Roosters, dummy half, Sam Verrills, going to the Gold Coast Titans next year. Obviously, with Brendan Smith going to the Roosters, and I guess Connor Watson's still there. He can play a bit of hooker along with Drew Hutchison. Someone was probably always going to leave. And Verrills has been, I guess, hot property for a while now. A lot of clubs have been looking at him. He's trying to deal with the Gold Coast Titans. What do you make of this pickup? And usually when players go to the Gold Coast, things go backwards, I guess you could say. But what are your thoughts on Verrills leaving the Roosters going to the Titans?
Look, I'm devastated for him going because he's actually been I thought he'd be the handy replacement for Jake Friends when he retired, Excuse me. Look, it's a shame to see him going, I absolutely love him as a player, but I can understand the circumstances, his future is undecided with the Cheese heading to the Chooks next year. I think it's more cap pressure. We still haven't re-signed Angus Crichton yet, so I think we're trying to find space to sign him. We've let go Lockie Lamb as well. But I think it makes it more harder because I think we're trying to maybe sign Matt Lodge long-term because he's actually turned out really well over the last few weeks. So maybe a 2 to 3 year deal for Matt Lodge. So that might be more so trying to free up some more space. So that's why we've seen the likes of Lockie Lamb, who's gone, and as well Sam Verrills. So, and I think it was a bit crowded in that 9 position. We've got the Cheese there. We've got Connor Watson, Drew Hutchinson can play 9. So we've got definitely depth in the 9s. So maybe the Sammy, he definitely, I'm not sure what he's on at the Titans. I don't know what he's on, but, I think it's a smart decision, even though the Titans aren't the greatest side, but, it's won a premiership at a young age. Maybe it's a new lifestyle on the Gold Coast. The coast is a very nice place to live. But I think, that could be the decision there. He wants some constant footy. He doesn't want to play reserve grade the rest of his time at the Roosters. So I think it's a smart decision, even though it's a bit sad to see him go because I love him as a player. He's won of us a premiership. So, but it's sad. On that topic of losing like form at the Titans, a perfect example is Isaac Liu, who played for us last year.
100%.
His form has gone to shit since he's left the Roosters, and I've noticed that I don't think he's in the starting side the last few weeks. So I think I reckon he would have been a handy pickup on loan, but we got Matt Lodge. So I think but in saying that, it could bring in a nice combination through the middle with Verrills and Isaac Liu through next season.
Well, see, the thing is as well, Isaac Liu's gone up there. Things haven't been great for him. I think he was starting front row for a while, and I'm going, no, got to put him at 13. He's been playing a little bit of 13, but hasn't been great. He even played a bit of back row, which I'm going, fuck me, can't be doing that. And other players have gone to the Gold Coast and gone backwards. Have a look at David Fafita. Look at him now. 2 years ago, he was the best young back row in the game by far. Now, he's probably in the top 10 worst because he's not doing anything. Like, I know the Gold Coast are a young side. I know they've got a lot of young players in their squad, but when you're buying someone for $1 million a season, you've got to fucking be a lot better than what they've been. And look, Verrills going up there. Look, I think you made a good point. Do you want to play New South Wales Cup for the North Sydney Bears, or do you want to play consistent NRL first grade starting hooker? Most people will probably want to start in the NRL. I know the Gold Coast aren't a club that are going to change your career around and be a fucking top 5 player or anything like that. But Verrills to the Titans, I do like the addition. It'll help them a little bit because they seem to struggle around the dummy half position. But I think it's good for Sam Verrills. I do rate the kid because I remember that grand final where he scored the first try. I had like 70-1. I think that was it the Canberra grand final? Was it that one he scored the first try?
Yeah. If you look at that game, like that try itself, it was the last tackle, and you're expecting like we had numbers out the left. You had Cronk, Tedesco, Manu, all on that side, and the common instinct is like, oh yeah, they're going to get the ball to the last tackle, but the fact that how he fooled them, the dummy, and under the post, next to the post, that it was how smart eyes up footy that was from Sam Verrills, and so that's what I remember of him, that play itself, how it just set up the foundation for that game.
I did hear some rumors that the Dragons were interested in Sam Verrills, which I think would have been good for them as well. But obviously with McCulloch there and Jaden Sullivan, obviously Verrills is going to be put behind those two anyway, unless McCulloch retires. But ProEnzo, Vidz, mate, what are your thoughts on Sam Verrills going up to the Gold Coast?
It's a good pickup. I think he'd definitely benefit from going there. He's going to get a full-time starting position at the Titans, and I think him playing behind someone like Foran is going to be good guidance as well. I think them two are going to be really effective in terms of just leading across the park and just adding that experience that Titans are missing, because Titans obviously are struggling with many key areas of that side. So Verrills is going to help a lot, and obviously achieving a grand final win at a young age is something that is also going to help him too. So I like the pickup. He's going to do really well.
I don't want to be too rude about the Gold Coast. Everyone knows I hate the Gold Coast more than any other team, but let me just say this. Their spine next year, it's still going to be shit. Brimson at fullback, Foran at 6, Sexton at 7, Verrills at 9. They're still going to be bottom 4 next year with that spine. I don't care what anyone says.
It's still not
right. It's still shit.
It's a work in progress.
It's going to take time. Kieran Foran's going up there with one leg.
He'll be all right.
He's going for a holiday up there. He's like, oh yeah, I'll go up there. I'll take the money. I'll just go to the beach. No problem. Fuck me. Good luck, Gold Coast. That's all I can say.
Really pointless signing for, and I think it's not more of his football. It's like more of his mentorship for the young fellas coming through. So that's what I think about Forum signing.
Yeah, that's why that way. All right. Topic number 3. Now, the Bulldogs still haven't announced their full-time NRL coach for next season and going forward into the future. Should the Bulldogs keep current interim coach Mick Potter on as head coach? ProEnzo, what do you reckon, mate? Should they keep Mick Potter on or should they go for someone else?
I'm sure Dogs fans would want to, and I think I would as well at the moment, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately, because I think Serrato will sign a deal with the club the next couple of months or weeks, and this means that Potter probably won't be the head coach next year. But look, I think as for where Potter should go, if he wasn't the head coach of the Dogs next year, there's obviously some clubs that are looking for a new head coach, so definitely there's another opportunity because what he's done with that Dogs side since Barrett has left is pretty incredible. I've never seen an interim do so well with a side like that, turn them around with scoring so many points and looking more composed to their defense and everything, looking committed. So what Potter's done for the Dogs is huge, and they should definitely keep him. But it's not going to happen as sad as it seems.
Mate, I've been hearing rumours about Cameron Serrato to the Bulldogs, Michael Maguire. The Shane Flanagan rumours have gone very quiet. So it seems like it's going to be Serrato or Michael Maguire, but Potter's done a great job with him. Ever since Trent Barrett left, they have gotten a lot better. Their attack looks good. Their defence still needs work, but they're getting better. HAYNESY, should the Bulldogs keep Mick Potter on as head coach?
Well, it just depends on what Serrato wants to do. It's worked out for Mick Potter, maybe Gus and the Dogs might think, can we give him a chance there? In saying that, they do want to. If Serrato is the coach that they want, I think they've got to go with Serrato, and maybe keep Mick Potter somewhere in the club. But the first time in like 3 years that the Dogs' attack is actually, threatening to some sides.
Right.
So I think that's one thing they've got to take into consideration. Dean Pay, Trent Barrett, they haven't been able to score points. And all of a sudden, Mick Potter's been there and they've been able to score points. So I think that's something they've got to maybe take into account. If Serrato is the one they want, so I'd say they would sign him. But personally, I'd like to see Mick Potter there, because it's working well. So I'd like to see Mick Potter stay, but all depends on what Serrato situation is. Does Penrith want to keep him, or does Serrato want to go there, or does he want to take his time? So it all depends.
I really want to see him stay too. Like Serrato, I think Serrato would have the same impact on the Bulldogs as what Craig Fitzgibbon's having on the Sharks. Just so much better football defensively, a lot better as well. And look, Mick Potter, we know his history at the West Tigers when he was coaching wasn't great, but he is a different coach now. He's different. I think Mick Potter should stay at the Bulldogs. If the Bulldogs are fair income, you give him an opportunity, give him a 1-year deal as head coach. If it doesn't work out, then go get someone else like a Michael Maguire or Shane Flanagan or whoever. I reckon I should keep Mick Potter. And look, the Bulldogs have been pretty good lately. They almost beat us last week. They got out of a 10-0 lead against us. I was a little bit nervous. They've been pushing teams for a while now. They pushed South. They beat the Roosters earlier this year. Who else they beat this year? They beat a few good sides. They beat us in round 1. They flogged Parramatta. They've beaten a few of the top sides, the Dogs, this year, and they've been competitive. So I reckon I should keep Mick Potter on. But the Cameron Serrato stuff seems to be getting a lot more noisy, I guess, in the way it's been going on anyway. But overall, I really hope they keep Mick Potter on. But I don't reckon it's going to happen.
Yeah, I just want to say as well, like he's making Dogs play eyes up footy. Like it's not structured like what Barrett did. Their structure didn't work under him. But yeah, Potter's getting the best out of the side.
Their left edge has gotten so much better too with Burton, Addo Carr, Aaron Schoff as well. They're all playing good footy on that left edge. And that right side's going all right too with that young Jacob Carraz kid, and Braden Burns is playing all right. So
He's a
The
gun.
doggies are looking a lot better than what they were at the start of the year.
What's the Dogs'
right.
run home anyway?
The Dogs run home.
Like, I'd like to see, do they play any top 8 sides? Because they're going to be a handful of teams like.
They're a nuisance, aren't they? They're a fucking nuisance.
They're going to be a nuisance come towards the next month of the footy season.
The Bulldogs run home. They got the Warriors in New Zealand on Friday night, which I think is a winnable game. They play Parramatta next Saturday afternoon at Bankwest Stadium. That's a big game. Big game, that. Then they play the Sharks at Shark Park on a Saturday afternoon. And then they finish off with Manly at ANZ Stadium.
There you go. So potentially for the Dogs, they can impact on the final series. Like
Cronulla and Parramatta, look out.
Definitely, and even Manly are still mathematically a chance of making the 8.
Disagree.
That's a dangerous game to finish off with. If Manly have to win to make it, that's a dangerous game. Playing the Dogs last round at ANZ Stadium.
It won't happen. It's all good.
You're giving up.
No, it's just no chance. It's not going to happen.
Hey. They did play it back in round 2 or 3, and you beat them by 1, so I wouldn't take them lightly.
No, I'm saying as in making finals for Manly. That's not going to happen.
Oh, you've given up hope. Fuck.
Yeah, a bit weeks ago.
Poor soul.
Anyway,
makes our game on Saturday very important, Nick. Very important.
Mate, huge fucking games. The top 8. We will get into that just a little bit. Well, topic number 2, something I want to talk about, is Jeremiah Nanai the best NRL rookie the game has seen? Now, we've seen so many great rookies come over the years. We've seen the likes of Jarrell Yao-Yee, Israel Folau. We've seen the likes of David Fafita. We've seen Kalen Ponga. We've seen Victor Radley, Jermaine Asako. We've seen so many good rookies over the last couple of years. But Jeremiah Nanai, this bloke scored about 16 tries in 17 games. He played in an Origin decider, had a blinder in that. He might be, I don't know what you fellas think, but this bloke is a freak. Is he the best NRL rookie that you've seen? ProEnzo, Vidz, I want to start with you on this one. Is he, or would you say someone else?
It's hard to really get a take on this because there's been so many in the past, like you mentioned before. He's definitely up there. There's no doubt. I mean, playing at 19 years old, making an Origin debut, and being a top try scorer in terms of back rowers, that's huge. That's huge for a 19-year-old. And obviously, he just finished school last year, and he's one of the best back rowers in the game. And I don't think he's the best ever, but I think he's Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. That's as far as I'll go. 2022 Rookie of the Year, Jeremiah Nanai for me. And but if they make the grand final this year, Cowboys, I think he definitely gets considered a bit more up there.
Mate, Jeremiah Nanai, Rookie of the Year, that is a lock. Throw everyone else out of the room. That is a lock.
Don't forget about Sawali. Don't forget about Sawali.
You're going to say Sawali. I knew you were going to mention Sawali. Look, I love Sawali too. He's right up there as well.
How many games has Nanai played overall? Did he play last year, or this is his debut season?
I think he played 3 games last year. I think if you play 5, you can't be eligible.
That still qualifies. That's what
He's played about 20 games, I think, all up. Hang on, I should be able to find out. Give me a minute. He's special, this kid. I'm telling you.
Good under the high ball. Nanai, as a back row, very good under the high ball.
Here we go. He's played 21 NRL games in his career, and he scored 17 tries in 21 matches.
Wow.
But he scored 16 from 17 this year as well, and he's averaging 100 meters a game.
Yeah, that's crazy
for a back row.
That's mental for a back row. It's fucking mental. It's unbelievable. What about you, Hainesy? Do you rate Jeremiah Nanai? Is he the best NRL rookie that you've seen, or no?
Well, definitely not. I've ever seen, but he's definitely a contender for Rookie of the Year. There's some very good candidates this year. If you think of Nanai, I think
Cobbo.
Nanai definitely. I think Cobbo's played. How many games did Cobbo play last year?
Actually, I think someone said to me that he might not be eligible.
I don't think he's eligible because I think he played consistent. I think he played consistently last year.
Yeah,
unlike
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Was it? What do they call him now? Suali'i or something? Suali or
Yeah,
Suali'i.
I can't even pronounce it. I give up on it already.
Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like, why is everyone trying to change their names now these days?
Yeah, just Papali, just Papali'i,
Like,
Sawali. Oh, it
think
confuses me. I'm not sure why.
like Paulo and Paulo, like
Yeah.
if that's your name, like why pronounce it different at the start of your career?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, bro. Well, Hainesy, I'll tell you this. Just Papali, right? From 2012 to 2021, it was Papali. Now it's Papali'i. It confuses me like hell.
Strange.
I think the first one was Rapana and Rapana.
Yeah,
that was the first one I can remember that they actually changed their name, and I think they followed at the back of that. So,
oh, it's nuts. I'll tell you what, Jeremiah Nanai. I think he's the best NRL rookie forward to come through. There's been a lot of them. I mean, Victor Radley, he would have won Rookie of the Year when he came through, but obviously got suspended twice for shoulder charge. But who the fuck doesn't love a shoulder charge? We all know he was Rookie of the Year that year. You got Fafita, who was very good. But as in terms of forwards, back rowers, I think Nanai is the best rookie to come through. And look what he's done. 16 tries in 17 games. He's a right edge back rower. He played in the Origin decider for Queensland against a stacked New South Wales team. Killed it in that. He's scoring tries all the time. Apparently, he's got the biggest hands that some people have ever seen as a rugby league player. I believe this bloke will be on $1 million a year soon. Like, I don't like forwards but being on $1 million a year, but clubs are going to throw big coin at Nanai, and I hope the Cowboys can keep him. But this bloke's special, isn't he? He's a freak.
Well, he's eligible to talk to other clubs by November 1st, so must lock him up.
And the other 15 clubs can fuck off.
Fair enough.
Watch out for Nick Politis. He'll be making a few calls.
Uncle Nick will have something. No, I can't see him leaving the Cowboys.
He's always amongst the player contracts, Politis, isn't he?
Look out for. Oh, actually, I was going to say Manly, but I realized you got Olakawatu and Schuster, so you don't need him.
Yeah, we don't need him.
And Manly have also got what's his name from the Tigers?
Tulungi coming through next year, isn't he? Tulungi.
Yeah, he's good pick up.
He's actually probably been the Tigers' best forward this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
look for me, Nanai is the best rookie forward that I've seen come through. I reckon he's having a better year than Fafita did in his rookie year.
Yeah, we'll play more games, so definitely.
And he's doing more than what David Fafita ever did. So that's just me, but I think we all agree Nanai is a special kid, and he could be anything. Honestly, he could be anything.
Yeah, 19 years old.
All right. Topic number 1. This is one that I think we might have a few disagreements on. Who are the real NRL contenders for the premiership? Now, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. The contenders. A few things have changed, I reckon. A few things haven't changed. Obviously, Penrith, I think we all agree they are the team to beat. They are the benchmark team. Everyone else has got their own view, but ProEnzo, Vidz, I'm going to start with you on this one, mate. Who are the contenders? Is it just Penrith against the world, or are there a few contenders?
Look, obviously Penrith have the best chance to obviously go back to back. It's their comp to lose, but followed by them, it's obviously I think Cowboys and Sharks that come just behind Penrith. I think them two have proven that they can be contenders for the comp this year. Both of them playing obviously footy that is enough to sort of show that they are really serious, in my opinion. And I was going to say Storm, but Storm have fallen off ever since we last talked about something like this. So I think the Cows and the Sharks are definitely two sides that can trouble Penrith, and they're a chance.
I want to bring up a team that I had as premiers at the start of the year. They were sloppy most of the year. Now they've come good. Can the Roosters win it outside top 4?
No.
Look, it just depends on. Just depends, like what kind of side that we bring up. Look, I think us and South are probably the only ones from outside the top 4 can win the comp. We've also seen Parramatta. Parramatta have beaten Penrith twice this year, so. But is that consistent enough to win 4 games in a row, Parramatta? I don't think so. With us, look, I think the questions are going to be asked on like the Broncos and the Cowboys. Yes, they're a young side and they've done really well this year, but finals time, some of them are inexperienced in that level. But I think that's when Reynolds and Townsend are going to be very crucial.
Yes,
to how they go because they've won premierships, they've won big game moments. So I think that's when you guys are going to rely on them the most. Look, the interesting about Penrith is, they're on form right now, and they are, they're in a hot streak right now. But the only thing that worries me are they too confident coming into this final series? Because the last 2 years alone, we've seen Melbourne, who were like on a 17 game winning streak.
Melbourne last year. Yeah,
they were in incredible form last year. They lost in the prelim. Penrith, the same thing. They lost one game in 2020, then they lost in the grand final. So I think they're too overconfident. Also with Penrith though, and Cronulla, they're not going to have a home final. So maybe week 1 for Penrith, but I can't see the prelim being at Bluebet Stadium. I think that's when, the likes of these, maybe the Roosters, definitely I think we can be consistent enough to win 4 games in a row. I think that's what they want to do. I've heard Victor Radley say that, they prefer to win 4 games in a row, like play knowing that they're playing week by week by week. So I can see Penrith if they under pressure there at a neutral venue. I can see them falling a bit under the pressure like previous seasons.
Yep. I just want to go to live chat real quick. My brother has just donated $2.99 with a blank message.
Oh, good. Take what you get.
He's literally in the other room somewhere. So, thanks for the $3. I don't quite understand it why, but thank you very much. Now, for me, I'll tell you what. I said a couple of weeks ago there's only 4 teams that can win the comp. And I had Panthers, Cowboys, Sharks, Broncos. I've changed my mind. I'm going to go for the top 8, and I'm going to put a pen through who I think can't win the comp. Parramatta, gone. They can't win the comp. I can't see them doing it. 4 games in a row for them. Fuck no. And if they get in the top 4, they won't beat any of the top teams anyway. So Parramatta for mine are gone. Broncos, they can't win the comp either. I can't see Tamari Martin as a premiership winning fullback. And I can't see Walters and Pakes, that rotation at hooker. I can't see that working for them to win the comp as well. So Brisbane Broncos, gone. Rabbitohs, dangerous. But again, Ilias at 7. I love him, but not ready for that next step. And I don't know if that 4-pack can handle the big teams. So South Sydney, gone. Melbourne, injuries, depleted. I don't even reckon Melbourne would beat half of the fucking top 6 at the moment. Melbourne, for the first time in forever, they're gone too. I think Panthers, Cowboys, Sharks, and Roosters can win it. Now, the reason why I bring up the Roosters is because when you look at the Roosters, yes, they have a tough run home. They will make the 8, I have no doubt. They will sneak in. Once they beat the Tigers by 50 next week, they'll be locked in the top 8. So here's the thing with the Roosters, right? If there's one team that can win outside the top 4, it's the Roosters. Reasons being, they've got experience, they've got youth. Trent Robinson's won 3 comps. He's been there, he's done it. Tedesco, Keary, Radley, the list goes on. They've got experience. I believe the Roosters are a contender. They can win the comp from 7 if they wanted to. They've got the team. I think they can win it. Now, I like Cronulla. I think they bring a bit of a different variety to the competition. Their style of football is entertaining to watch, and their defense has definitely improved. The Sharks are a dangerous team. I bring up the Cowboys. Well, top 4 for the Cowboys is big. If the Cowboys finish second, they're guaranteed 2 finals in Townsville. Who on earth besides Penrith is going to go up to Townsville and beat them? Not many teams are going to be able to do that. That's tough. If Cowboys finish top 4, which I think they will, they're going to be hard to beat, especially if they play 2 home finals in Townsville. I don't think anyone will beat them up there. And the thing with the Cowboys, they got experience as well. Townsend's won a comp. Val's won a comp. Taumalolo, McLean's been there and done it. We've got so much experience and youth as well. We're not a team that's going to have one best player. We're a really well-balanced team. I think we can win the comp. And Penrith, well, it's their comp to lose, isn't it? They did it last year, and they've done it again. Like, they can do it again. No reason why they won't. And they get Luai and Cleary back week 1 of the finals. So I think Penrith, Cowboys, Sharks, Roosters, them 4 can win it. Everyone else is gone, I reckon.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
Fair assessment.
It's going to be very interesting to see when, so just say, for example, Cowboys do play the Sharks, and they do, and just say Cronulla beat the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for the Cowboys. They're going to get a home final, but they're going to travel to Sydney 2 weeks in a row if they win the comp. A prelim in the grand final, they're going to travel to Sydney 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
so
look, that would be pretty annoying, but I mean, they've done it before. I mean, I don't think it'd be much of an issue, but it would be pretty annoying. And look, I did have a good look at the draw. The Cowboys have a tougher run than the Sharks, so I would not be surprised if the Sharks finish second and we finish third, and we had to play them week 1 at Cronulla and then have to go to Sydney again. But I'm telling you, imagine if we played Cronulla week 1 in Shark Park. Imagine we beat them. Imagine we get a week off, home prelim in Townsville. Besides Penrith, I don't know anyone else that would be able to beat us up there. It'd be so hard. Tough ask.
Yeah.
I reckon that the Sharks' home final will be at Allianz because they're
good then. I'd be happy.
It'd be good for you guys. Look, I think because of the Sharks, their revamp, 12,000 for, they'll sell it out in minutes, but just. I went to Cronulla this year. The facilities ain't great at the moment. Just too crowded.
Well, I was looking at. Look, I think if we do play the Sharks in Sydney week 1 of the finals, if it is at Allianz Stadium or ANZ Stadium, I'd be happy about that because I'd rather play there than play at Shark Park, personally.
Tough place.
And look, here's the thing. If the Sharks did play the Cowboys week 1 in Sydney, say the Cowboys win, they get a week off, a home prelim in Townsville. The team they play in Townsville in the prelim would have already played 2 tough games. So that's tough as it is.
That's why I think that's why the Roosters have an opportunity in the top 8 from 8th to cause a fight. Like, especially if at the moment it's Melbourne Penrith week 1. They're going to belt the living fuck out of each other.
That'll be all right too.
And then they've got to play, after that, after they've been battled and bruised, and then they've got to play a red hot Rooster side who could potentially come in winning 4 or 5 in a row. So it's very, very interesting how they're going to back up. So I think that first week of the finals for those top 4 teams are going to be crucial to see who gets.
Oh mate, it's huge. And look, to be honest with you, I reckon it will be Cowboys Sharks week 1 of the finals either way. Wherever it be in Townsville or wherever it be in Sydney, I think that's what's going to happen because I had a look at the Sharks run home. I think they'll probably lose maybe 1 more game. If not, they might win them all. And the Cowboys run home. Well, we play the Roosters this weekend. Then we play the Warriors in Townsville. Rabbitohs at ANZ Stadium, and then we finish with Penrith up in Townsville. So we got a tough run compared to the Sharks.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see where everything pans out.
It'll be interesting. But all right, it's time for the Breakdown Podcast game show. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. ProEnzo Vidz up against HAYNESY. I just going to go over it once again so everyone understands. Basically, if you don't know the game, what we do is, or what I do, I ask them 3 questions each. Or first one to get 3 questions right is the winner. Interrupt each other at any time. If anybody in the live chat reveals the answers, they will be banned for 5 minutes regardless. So everybody should know the rules by now. Anyone gives away the answers, they're going to get banned straight off the bat. Don't matter if you've been following the channel for 5 years, 2 years, whatever. You'll be banned. So no spoilers allowed. All right. Yeah. Fellas, you ready?
Absolutely.
Bring it on.
All right, let's rip into it. Question number 1. Who is coming 14th on the NRL ladder as we speak?
Warriors.
Is it a buzzer?
Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, is it a buzzer?
Nah, doesn't interrupt whenever.
Let's go.
Fucking hell, ProEnzo. That didn't fucking take long.
Well, just had that top of my mind.
All right, 1-0. So really, really fast start for Lorenzo. Question number 2. Who is wearing jersey number 17 for the Roosters this weekend?
Terrell May.
Oh, motherfucker.
Fucking hell.
I was about to
guess too. I didn't think I would be here, but that's a guess.
I think it's Terrell May, yeah.
Yeah, fucking Terrell May.
That was
did well.
Too.
Did very well.
Well done, you done well there.
All right, 2-0. You beat Haynes at a Roosters question. You did very well.
I'm surprised.
Fuck off. All right, next question. What was the score last time between the Cowboys and the Roosters?
24-8.
24-8. Wrong.
24-4.
26-4. No.
32-10.
Wrong.
28-4.
Correct.
Oh, fucking fine.
Haynes on the board. Yeah.
There you go. The Roosters won.
That was a great win. That really fucking got us out of that slump. Then we went back into a slump.
That was the game where I nearly fucking got arrested for fucking abusing in public. I was fucking pissed right off after that game. And bro, I remember that game well because I remember Sam Revel gave me a spray because I tipped the Roosters to flog us that round. So I remember that.
I don't even remember that much of the game. I was half pissed at the felons near the Story Bridge.
Oh man! All right, next question. Who is wearing jersey number 11 for the Panthers tomorrow night?
Kikia.
Not Kikia.
Wrong.
Chris Smith.
Oh, be fucked. Lorenzo got it.
Yes.
Chris Smith.
Lorenzo gets it. Lorenzo wins 3-1. Lucky.
Haynesy, fair game.
You know your shit. Well done, mate. Well done.
Well, you know what? Haynesy was more competitive than all that CHAMPA ever was.
Wow.
He's gonna get so pissed off when he hears that.
I think he knows the questions in advance. I think.
Yeah, the questions are just random as fuck.
Hey.
All right. Well, before we go, we're going to go through the round 22 tips. So we're going to go through our tips over for the weekend. So I'm just going to ask you, who do you think is going to win, and just give me a margin and an anytime try score or whatever. So round 22 kicks off tomorrow night. Penrith versus Melbourne. ProEnzo, what happens here, mate?
Penrith by 8, and my first try scorer is going to be Isaac Tago.
Nice. What about you, Haynesy? Panthers and Storm.
I'm going to go Penrith 13 plus with Dylan Edwards anytime.
Fuck, that's nice. I'm going to go Penrith. Yeah, what's that?
I was like with Melbourne, like we all know if they were full strength last week, they would have put 50 on the Titans
easily.
But like the amount of drop ball that the Titans had, and they kept, they couldn't put them away until like later on in the game. So, but it's really hard to see where Melbourne are at when they play 16th place team one week, then first place team the week after. So, are they going to be up for this game? Probably will, but we were at Magic Round when we saw.
I remember that
6. So maybe I can see a similar result.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go Penrith 1-12. I think it'll be a close game, and I like Dylan Edwards for first try score tomorrow night. I just got a feeling he's been playing great footy, Edwards, all year. So I'm going to back him to score first tomorrow night. Panthers to beat the Storm. Friday night, 6 o'clock game in New Zealand, Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors and the Bulldogs. Bit of a tough game to pick, Lorenzo.
I'm going to go the Warriors here at home. I think the Warriors win here 1-12. I think the short turnaround for Canterbury might hurt them. And I'm going to go Edward Cosey for first try.
At Cosey on the wing. Not bad. What about you, Haynesy? Warriors and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to tip the Warriors. They're at home, they've actually played, well, they beat the Tigers and they were competitive against the Storm.
Yeah.
So I think, they got the home ground advantage, It's first time, it's very hard, especially these new players to adjust that they travel from Sydney to Auckland. It's 3 hours, but it's not compared to like a quick hour flight to Brisbane or something like that. So it's a very different adjustment, to get in a short day turnaround from Sunday to Friday, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. New Zealand. So it's going to be tough for the Bulldogs to back up. And I think the Warriors, it's an opportunity to win in front of their home fans.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go. Hang on, what the fuck's happened here? I've just kicked Julian out for a couple of minutes because I ripped the Broncos off, he's got upset and he's had a bit of a cry. He keeps calling me wrong. And
can we block CJ for saying that stupid comment?
Look, Julian was in the chat saying that I was wrong and I'm talking shit about writing the Broncos off. It's my opinion. I could be wrong. Who the fuck cares? It's just an opinion.
As always,
fucking.
The Broncos won't get past week 1 of the finals if they have to play week 1 in Sydney.
Yeah, good luck if they have to play down there. But Warriors Dogs, I'm going to go the Dogs 1-12. Not confident. First try scorer, I'm going to go with I'm going to go Bolt. I'm going to go Jackson to Pine in the back row.
Ooh, all right, that's interesting.
I like him. I like it. I like the kid. Friday night, Parramatta versus South Sydney. This is a tough game to get a read on. Parramatta versus Souths. ProEnzo, mate, this should be a close game.
Yeah, I've got Parra by probably 6 points at a CommBank. And first try scorer is going to be Wagga Blake.
Wagga Blake on the wing to score first. Not bad. HAYNESY, Eels and Rabbitohs, mate.
It's a tough game to pick. Parramatta are in good form, but I reckon their bogey side's been South's the last few years. It
has.
On the way to lose and lose well against them. So painful to admit. I'm going to tip Souths.
Oh.
And I'm going to go... you can't go past Alex Johnson first try scorer. That's
you just can't.
No, it's guaranteed.
That's a lock. That is literally a lock these days.
Oh, just about is. I threw $50 on him the other week and he didn't even score first. I was like, you fucking asshole.
Wow.
Well. Doesn't
score.
Yeah. I'm going South 1-12. I think this will be a really close game. First try, I'll go Alex Johnson as well, but wouldn't be surprised if Latrell Mitchell went over first either. They're both in great form. So Souths to win in a real tight one there Friday night. All right. Super Saturday. It's the Nick from Australia versus HAYNESY Cup. It's the Roosters and the Cowboys.
I love it.
At the SCG. This is going to be a huge game. I think it's the game of the round by a country mile. Cowboys have never played at the SCG in their history, so big advantage there for the Roosters. Roosters, Cowboys, ProEnzo. This is tough to tip.
Oh, it's tough. You're probably going to hate me for this, but I've got the Roosters by 6 at
Get the fuck off the channel now.
Smart man.
Come on, bro.
Man.
I just think with the weather, it's going to be hard, and I think Roosters are just better to that in the SCG, so I think they'll win. And first try is going to be probably I'm going to go Tupou.
There'll be nothing in this game. HAYNESY, what do you reckon about this one?
Very, 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 very nervous about this game. I said this last week when we played the Broncos, it's a big game. We need to keep winning to, just hope Raiders slip up some way, and they did last week, so it gives us a little bit of breathing space. But, Cowboys have really proved me wrong all season. I'm it reminds me of last year. They started off slow, and then they beat the Tigers at Leichhardt last year, and they went on a bit of a run. They got 7th, and then they fell back to earth and finished 14th or 15th. So I felt like that was going to happen this year. Not that badly. I thought they would slip down to 7th or 8th, but they keep proving me wrong, and they keep proving me wrong. I'll first admit that they proved me wrong this season. With us, it's a big game. I think it's we did beat you this year, which gives me more confidence. It's at the SCG, good record there. I'm gonna go the Roosters to win here, of course, but Sam Walker anytime. Last time Chad Townsend played at the SCG, Sam Walker, had him in his pocket, in his second game of first grade, absolutely, made a meal of him. Look, I think the only thing I can with the Cowboys here, I think it's a different SCG is completely different to a rectangular ground. It's an oval, it's very hard to adjust your kicking game. In the middle of the SCG is very, very hard and very slippery as well. Tedesco always fucking slips over on the middle of the pitch, but
he does.
With the Cowboys, it's going to be very tough. They haven't even played a lot in Sydney this year, maybe twice or 3 times.
We had a couple of games. I think we played Manly there, beat them. Penrith. Who else we fucking played out in Sydney?
And St. George.
St. George, yeah, that's it. We only played 3 times down there.
So it was just worked out for you guys. So yeah, Roosters. I'm going to go 1-12. Will be a tight one. No points involved.
Yeah,
I think the difference is going to be, Walker, Kiri, Tedesco. Your big 3 players.
yeah.
I think it's going to be very good in the air with Sawali and Tupou.
What a matchup!
The Hammer and
Hammer and
Talangi.
Talangi.
It's going to be a great contest. I can't wait for it. But yeah,
Mate, my favourite matchup for this game is Val Holmes versus Joseph Manu. I reckon that they are the top 2 centers in the game at the moment. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes to Golden Point. Like, in all seriousness, I would not be surprised. But obviously, I will back the Cowboys by 2. I'll go Jeremiah Nanai to score first. But if there's one game that we lose before finals, it's this one. This is the one. But I hope we win by 2. I reckon this will be a really tight game. Bit nervous, but
we probably really need this too. We just need to keep winning. We can't really afford to lose a game and get Canberra right on their tails again because we do have a tough run home.
Yeah.
So I think we need to win at least 3 of our next 4. So we can win this week and then we win against the Tigers.
You'll murder them.
We've got that 2-game buffer because of our for and against. So we'll probably need to win at least 2 or 3 to get us home. So we'll take it week by week. This is a massive danger game for us.
Should be a great game. The other game on Saturday, which is the 5:30 game, Tigers and Sharks at Tamworth, which should be fantastic. But I think this game will be one-way traffic, ProEnzo Vidz.
Yeah, it will be. And I got Sharks 13+, and I think it's, there's never a game anymore where he doesn't score, and I think Ronaldo and Mulatalo will score anytime.
Of course he will. It's Ronaldo. Tigers and Sharks. Hainesy, what do you reckon? Sharks easy or what?
Look, the thing with the Tigers, though, like, they turn up the games that they expect to get flogged by. Then yet last week against the Knights, they expected to win that game, and they played awful. But I think with the fact that there's no Brooks, there's no Hastings, their attack was shit house against Newcastle, who,
oh my God, it was awful.
It was a terrible game to watch. So, and the Sharks are in good form, even though the Dragons gave them a bit of a scare last week. So, I think the Tigers, if they do turn up, it'll be a close game, but I can't see it happening. Look, Nico Hines is in some try-scoring form. So I'm going to go Sharks 13+, Nico Hines. I had that last week with Ronaldo, but he didn't score for me. So, fuck me over. But yeah,
look, I think Sharks 24+. This won't be close. First try. I'm going to go that young fullback. What's his name? Dykes. I'm going to go Dykes.
Hey, Dykes. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Where's that guy that played for the Rugby Sevens? He played that debut game against the Titans.
Miller.
Yeah, Miller.
Where is he at the moment?
He's on the wing this weekend. He's playing wing.
Ah, there we go.
Right next to Jesse Ramian, so he should get some ball.
Yeah, good combination.
Yeah, well, Matty Cavalli's been a ghost since he got dropped from the Sharks. First track,
I think what happened was he was playing and then he got injured and then he hasn't came back because he just hasn't been picked or some shit. But I don't know what's going on there with Ikevalu. But yeah, Sharks will kill him. All right. The other game Saturday night, Broncos and Knights up in Brisbane. I think Brisbane will bounce back here and win well. What about you, ProEnzo?
Yeah, Broncos should win 13+, and my first try is going to be Cobbo. It's been a while since I scored a try, but I think he'll score this one.
Hainesy, Broncos and Knights?
First 40 minutes of last week, I thought Newcastle, there's a world that they beat the Broncos, but after that second half, they were terrible. Any other team, they would have lost. But, I'd love to see the Broncos lose 3 weeks in a row, especially New South Welshman up here, all talk about the Broncos, absolutely annoying, and then like 2 weeks ago, they go, oh, we're 1 win away from making finals. How good are the Broncos? Then they lose to the Tigers and get flogged by the Roosters, and they're like, oh, shit. What the fuck's happening with the Broncos? So I'm going to go the Broncos will win, though. They've got to bounce back at Suncorp.
Yeah.
I think Broncos will win 13+, but I'd love to see Newcastle win, If there a world that the Broncos miss the 8 would be would be, I would live in that world.
It'd be fucking funny if they missed the 8, but I think they will now.
I can't see it happen.
Yeah, I think Broncos win this 26+. And first try, I'm going to go with Jordan Ricky in the back row. I love me some Jordan Ricky. He's playing well. So
Beast.
Bronx to win. Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock in Canberra. A bit of a weird game, this one. Raiders and Dragons. Now, Canberra can still get in the 8 if they keep winning. The Dragons, well, they're probably fucked, but if they win every game, they can get in too, which is crazy to think. Raiders and Dragons, ProEnzo, no Ricky Stewart, so it might be a bit of a disrupted week for Canberra.
Yeah, I was close to saying that would be the write-off for the Raiders this week is having no Ricky and all that drama that's happened. But I think being back at GIO, they usually play well there, and I think they will be desperate to still fight for their season. So I'll go Canberra 1-12, and my first try scorer is going to be Albert Hopper-Whitey. He's been in good form for Canberra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Hainesy?
Look, for the Roosters' sake, we need the Dragons win here. So, look, Canberra, they've got a few out too. Is it Tarpany who broke did his ribs or something last weekend?
Yeah, Tarpany's out.
Yeah, and since I've noticed Canberra playing, they can't fucking put him on the ground. He's so strong. So maybe they're gonna miss that in the middle. There's a few out. Ricky Stewart, not even. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. I think the Dragons they're both playing for their season, and we've seen the Dragons. They beat Manly when they needed to, and they've beaten Canberra again this year in some controversial circumstances. I think the Dragons, they're playing for the season. They showed enough last week they can pull an upset here. I'm going to tip the Dragons 1-12, and the main man Zach Lomax anytime.
I reckon the Dragons are my specials of the weekend as well. Canberra, the whole Ricky Stewart saga, the dramas all week. They're going to miss Tarpany like no tomorrow. He's a massive loss. I think the Dragons win this. I reckon they win 1-12. And first try, I'm going to go with Jack Bird to score first. And before we get into the final game, I just want to go to the live chat. Now, I'm really disappointed with what I'm reading here from Faraz. Now, Faraz has been watching the channel for a while. He's having a go at Hainesy for absolutely no fucking reason. He's having a go. Calling him a flog and all this about criticising the Broncos because he's a Broncos supporter. Calls him a flog. Don't bring this bloke on again for a while. Well, Faraz, you are showing no respect to the people I have on my channel. And I'm so disappointed with you, Faraz. I thought you were better than that. So you can just fuck right off, Faraz. I'm blocking him. I'm not copping that bullshit.
You got to accept hate. Got to accept hate. We get that. We understand all that.
I mean, I understand hate, but if he's going to go around calling people a flog, I'm not going to cop that bullshit. So Faraz has just been kicked out. I'm not copping that.
I've been called worse. Not the end of the world there.
Yeah, I know. I'm not copping that bullshit.
Broncos supporters, we get that.
Oh yeah, I'm not copping that bullshit from Faraz. That's just ridiculous. All right, yeah, Dragons to win 1-12. I'm with you, Hainesy. And the final game, Titans and Manly, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock on the Gold Coast. I think the real question is Manly by how much? ProEnzo Vidz?
Look, we should win, but again, it's a danger game, and I can't trust us for 80 minutes. But it's a game where I think we'll turn up and get the win. So I'll go us 13+, but not the most convincing 13+. And I'll go. This is a bit of a roughie, and this is one that I don't think any of you would expect. But I reckon first try scores me Lachlan Croker for dummy half.
Ooh, that's bold. Titans and Manly, Hainesy. What happens here?
I can see the Titans playing for about 40 minutes and actually be in this game, but I can see Manly running away with it 13+.
Yeah,
you got to go stubby cooler, can of cola. And it's the first time. Shout out to the Hello Sport boys. They're
love
their
them,
content fucking funny with that shit. So yeah, can of cola, Coca-Cola. Win the Manly 13+. I can see the Titans making a game out of it. You know, they showed enough last week, so. But Manly haven't been convincing the last few weeks. So, but yeah, exactly I see right. They'll run away with it.
Look, I'm going to go Manly. I'm going to go Manly by about 22 points. I reckon that'll be far too good. I reckon this might be a high-scoring game. I'm thinking something like 38-18 or 38-20. I reckon this will be a really high-scoring game Sunday afternoon, but I reckon Manly win this game and they win it well. And first try scorer, I'm going to go with one of my favourite back rowers, Hamoli Olakawatu to score.
Yes.
He's a dangerous bastard. So good to watch.
What do you think of what's gone wrong with the Titans this year? You know, they made the finals last year, and then the first 2 weeks of the competition, you know, they gave Para the massive scare in round 1, and then they beat the Warriors. And then ever since then, they've just fallen in the deep heat. And
I think what the problem is with the Gold Coast, when they do make the top 8, they don't know how to back it up. I don't think they understand mental toughness. I think that's one of the problems. Now, we all know the situation. They punted Fogarty for Sexton. They got rid of experience for youth, and we all know that was a mistake. But in saying that, they didn't really improve their roster, did they? Like, their backline's the same as last year. The halves got worse. Brimson's not a 5'8". He's a fullback.
Yeah.
Look, Fodawaker's gone a bit backwards this year. Tino's probably their best forward, even though he gives away 3 penalties a game. Fafita doesn't get the ball. Ozak Liu's not that play. That's going to change the club. Fermore's been probably their best as well. And their bench isn't really amazing. But Joel's probably their best forward off the bench. SES is getting a bit old. I don't know. I just think it's a mixture of not recruiting anything, and they didn't add anyone to their team. I mean, they won 10 games last year and they got in the top 8 because of pretty much by default. And they didn't improve their roster. And if you don't improve your roster each year, you're not going to do much. So I think that's half the problem.
You can just tell how good the competition has been this year. You got the Roosters, who are heavyweight, you know, battling for the 8. You got, you know, Souths are 6. They're, last year's grand finals, they're sitting 6.
Yeah.
It's just how good. It's so much improvement from the top, from like the Cowboys and the Broncos have showed improvement.
Exactly right.
Titans, who have finished 8th by, they shouldn't even really been there. They're 5th, last on the table. So it's very hard to see. It's a bit of a shame to see sometimes, like, because Micah Fonawaker played at my junior club, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
So I like to see him well, but not really much from the Titans, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, fellas, that's going to wrap up the podcast. ProEnzo, Vidz, and HAYNESY. Boys, thanks for coming on tonight.
No, I appreciate it. It was a good episode. It was really good. Enjoyed it.
HAYNESY, I reckon you passed the test with flying colours.
Very good. Thanks for having me, Nick. It's always good to catch up with you, mate, and hope to see you around soon.
Worries. Mate, I'll see you I'll see you in the final somewhere. I'm sure I will. Somewhere in Sydney.
Definitely.
Well, like I said, if the Cowboys are playing a final in Sydney, I'm going to be there somewhere. So I'll definitely catch up with you when I go back down to Sydney. But if you guys haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel of ProEnzo, Vidz, and HAYNESY, and my channel, if you haven't subscribed to us, make sure you do. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the podcast, episode number 60. I hope you all have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe, everyone.